I just heard from one former women's world champion. Now we get to talk to the current NWA women's world champion. Joining us on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline, none other than one of our absolute favorites, Thunder Rosa. How are you?
I am good. Sitting on my table, doing work. It seems like at night that's when I'm the most prolific and actually focused.
Really?
So
okay.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know why. Like in the mornings, I have to exercise. If I don't exercise, I'll be mad all day. Like all day.
So what are you doing to
That's
exercise during this whole lockdown situation?
Exercise outside. There's nobody exercising outside. I mean, the CDC says that we are allowed and we should go outside to exercise. Of course, practicing social distancing. I've been practicing social distancing outside for ever since we started, actually. I started working out inside, and then I was just like, you know what, I can't. And then I just started running. I've been doing a lot of running. I used to run a lot before I was a professional athlete. That was one of the things that I did a lot, and I enjoyed doing it. I didn't like doing it a lot more because I'm focusing for boxing and stuff. So.
Oh, okay. That's right. Combates Américas. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that you had the cage fights.
But
right. I have to ask, beyond the running, what have you been doing to? I know how wrestlers are. Everybody was all panicky without being able to get into a gym. Did you try to supplement that by using some weights around the house, or just trying to find some heavy stuff to lift?
No, I didn't buy weights. First of all, because I have other things that take more priority than buying weights. You can use your body weight, Mm-hmm. And then I bought some bands, though. Those have been pretty good. And some of my trainers in Mexico, they've been posting videos on how to use them while you're doing certain exercises, because you still put in resistance. So I've been using a lot of that, and I'm just doing a lot of reps in terms of like push-ups, squats, lunges, abs. Just focusing a lot of that, and we'll see. I mean, if they open the gym in May, cool. If they don't, I'm just gonna keep training. Honestly, if you want to get in shape, you don't need a gym. You just go out and do what you need to do. There's so many. You see the prisoners. It's a terrible example to use, but they don't have weights, and a lot of prisons they took the weights out. So what do they use? They use their own body, and they use gallons of water or whatever they can make, and then they use that. So I think we tend to make excuses for ourselves a lot of the times. Oh man, I don't have this, I don't have that, and then one of my friends, he actually invited me to this group called Camp Gladiators or stuff like that. They have virtual workouts every day, and you can pick anyone pretty much all over the country. So they start from like 5 a.m. to like 8 o'clock at night, and you're working with a group of people on Zoom. And the workouts are really good, actually. I was surprised. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been focusing a lot on boxing, on striking. So I've been working on a new thing for that, and it's been helping me a lot. It's helping me focus. I mean, in terms of wrestling, I can't really be wrestling people right now, so I just watch it on YouTube and be like, man, I miss being in the ring. I miss being in the mat.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do miss it.
Let me ask you this. So, it was end of January. You defeated Allison Kay, became the women's world champion. Has it sunk in yet that you are holding not only the most historic women's world championship, but one that is considered a world title, that you're holding the same belt as Susan Tex Green, who we've talked to, who is a Hall of Famer. You're held in the same belt as a Debbie Combs and Santana Garrett and Jazz. How much of that have you grasped yet?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, it's been a while now. I think I've talked about this many, many times already. And it is very unfortunate that it happened during this year. The same one, I won my first title ever internationally in Japan, and I'm still an international Tokyo Joshi princess. champion, and then I can't defend my championship, I'm like, oh, but it's, in the midst of the ridiculousness and all this crazy new life that we're living, I'm happy that I'm holding these titles and making history. My name will be in the history books of wrestling as the first Mexican-born wrestler to hold this championship. And once everything clears and we're like safe to wrestle, I'm very, very looking forward to it because, like I said, I always been a fighter and a warrior, and obstacles of different shapes and forms have come in my life and my career, and just, I guess it's like this is one that everybody's dealing with. But once I'm allowed to wrestle, I'm gonna start doing some cool stuff with it.
Yeah, obviously we're all looking forward to that time when you and all wrestlers can get back in the ring and we can watch you, perform the incredible athleticism that all of you possess. Let me ask you this. So, besides working out, what else is occupying your time during this pandemic?
I've been doing a lot of YouTube content, running around. And honestly, like a lot of my stuff hasn't changed very much. I stay with the same, or try to stay with the same schedule, as far as contacting people, creating things for myself, looking to see what's next, because again, we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple months, and I still need to make some, considerable money, and I'm working on designs for new merchandise, on ideas for new videos for my YouTube page, working on my Facebook page too, which I haven't started, and I need to get my ass to work on it because I can monetize my Facebook, and I didn't even know that. So it's a humongous tool because a lot of my fans that I have been neglecting are Latino fans and are the ones that are my biggest following in Facebook. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. I mean, I know that if it's not in wrestling, or if it's not, the money is not in wrestling or in MMA, I have a future on TV. I mean, it's something that I always want to do, and I love interviewing people. I love being in front of the camera. I'm not shy. So I've been working on my interviewing skills in English and in Spanish. And also just being, an entertainer and looking to see different things. So that's what I've been doing mostly, in decorating my house, doing little projects here and there, yelling at my son, definitely, kissing Drago every morning, cooking for Brian 50,000 times a day when I have time. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that.
All right, what's Brian's favorite? Brian, your husband, of course. What's his favorite dish that you make?
He can eat a spaghetti every day.
He could eat spaghetti. See, and that's kind of funny because I just had spaghetti for dinner tonight, and I do okay. Now, do you make your own sauce?
When I have all the ingredients, I do, but it takes forever.
Right.
So no, I haven't done it in a while. But when I was in Oakland, it was like Holly that used to live with us. She used to love when I used to make spaghetti because I make the sauce from scratch.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna have
I love it. It's fun.
We're going to have a little bit of your spaghetti sauce one of these days. I got to try it, see what I can do to make mine. But I make mine from scratch as well, but mine's not near as complicated, I'm sure.
Well, you were telling us beforehand that you had some things in the work. Is it going to be a Thunder Rosa cooking book?
Man, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Maybe what I should. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I don't know. I need to start looking at healthy recipes to
mean, if you got spaghetti in the bag already, I'm sure you have. I remember the time that you came over to interview and we kind of had a chance to chat with you, and I encourage people to kind of follow your story because we got to see you kind of where you were with Lucha Underground, but we got to see the rest of the story with really up close, and it's been really great to follow your journey. But you're a woman of many, many talents. So I would think that it would be quite impressive to see what else you have in your repertoire, at least when it comes to cooking.
I mean, I need to start doing more of that stuff. I mean, I love cooking. I think I should be looking more at YouTube videos and stuff to learn other techniques, and then okay, I can put this on my recipe. I can do this. I can do that. I mean, I love that. Cooking shows are one of my favorite things, even since I was a little girl. I used to watch that, and I used to see my mom, like, she was like, before, like, the recipes were online, she was, like, with her notebook, just, like, writing everything down. It was, like, really funny. I was like, Mom, why are you doing that? And now I'm, like, I just go, you know, on Google and, like, search all this stuff.
I'm looking at your YouTube page, youtube.com, search Thunder Rosa, and there you are. Several videos. You do everything from, you reviewed Tiger King to, you got some matches. You got 3 or 4 videos involving our good friend and your good friend Joe Galli, who does the commentary for NWA, works in TV in San Antonio. So there we go. Maybe we may need a Cooking with Thunder Rosa video or 2 or 10.
Yeah, it probably is going to be like a series of things. I might just go with Joe's. Joe's has a better kitchen than I do. I just go and check at his kitchen.
Well, he's making that big TV money, so you know.
Yeah, so I'll just have him like do commentary because he's hilarious. If you guys got to see the aerobics with Thunder Rosa and Joe Galli.
Yes.
Oh my god, he is. I couldn't hold a straight face. He's just like doing the stupidest things that you can imagine. I mean, he's a really, really fun guy to work with.
He's a great guy. Been able to talk to him several times, and such a great person. Yeah, I see the video. Joe Galli joins Thunder Rosa for a sexy aerobics workout. That right there, that should garner like 50,000 views just reading the title alone.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Absolutely. Talk with Thunder Rosa here on Sportscast Talking Wrestling.
I will say that I saw you on Twitter, though. You posted that picture of you in the jumper, and you're like, oh, they always don't fit. I was like, that one looked perfect on you, though. It was a great look.
Yeah. I have a lot of them, but it's just like the problem is they're so small. Like when I like bend down, it's just like my son almost got a heart attack. He'd be like, "You can't be wearing that."
Well, okay, now
I'm not going to take you anywhere. You can't go to Walmart like that. So I was like, all right.
And how old is your son?
I'm about to be 15.
Yeah, so he's at that age where he loves mom, but mom can embarrass him really easily.
So, well, like, I guess it's like very embarrassing. I mean,
yeah,
I'm Thunder Rosa. Like, he needs to get used to it.
Yeah, you may be the NWA Women's World Champion, but you're embarrassing mom. You're embarrassing him, mom. So you have to be careful about that. By the way, you follow Thunder Rosa on Twitter at Thunder Rosa 22. As she mentioned, the NWA Women's World Champion, the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling International Princess Champion. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
All right, good. I'm getting there.
You were telling us that you were working on your striking a little earlier. Are you having any plans of returning to the cage anytime soon? Well, obviously, once things get kind of back to normal relevance.
Normal. I mean, it all depends on the company, like what they want, and like, because usually they're like, "Hey, you're ready for our next fight," and I'm like, I mean, probably because of like the situation and how much time we have, like a lot of us have taken, I will say until like, it will be like around the same time that I did it last year, November. So I really want to feel ready, like, I mean, I feel like I'm getting way better than when I was when I, stepped in the cage the first time, because now I know how I feel. So I've been in the cage a lot more. I've been working on my ground game, on my stand-up game, and I really want to look like confident. Like I want to show that. I feel like I was very timid, and I was kind of like, all right, I'm just, I'm not going to get, I honestly didn't like feel like I had a full plan and like a vision on how I was going to finish my opponent on the first one, because I was just like, man, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but I'm like, I'm going to finish,
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Mindset wise, I mean, obviously, NWA Women's Champion. Can you explain to us and the listeners your mindset going and the difference of your mindset stepping into that cage as opposed into the squared circle?
Oh, it is completely different. You don't know what's going to happen. You can come with a total like setup plan from A to Z, and then on round 1, minute 2, you can be done. Either she finishes you or you finish her. So it's like 50-50. You never know, I think it has happened to like the best of the best. But if you come with like a killer mentality. You have to. When you step in, you have to come with a killer mentality. Otherwise, you shouldn't even step in the ring in the cage.
How do you find that mentality? Do you just think back? Do you go in with like a preconceived rage, kind of like Mike Tyson used to do it back in the day when he would step in to fight? Or is it more of a reserved aggression that you're still kind of analytically looking at this and you're still trying to focus and stay in the moment, but maybe you don't kind of take yourself out of body, so to speak?
I think it's for me right now, it's like finding like I guess it's just like fighting myself in a way, and fighting my doubts and fighting my all the times that I've been, told no and told that I'm not going to make it, and then preparing now for my next fight because I need to win this. I have a lot to prove. Not to anybody, but for myself, that I can do this, and I was born to be a fighter. I was born to be a warrior, and yeah, there's a lot of sit up rage, and there's a couple people that I really, really hate, and I wish I could punch them in the face, but I can't. So you just put that face in there and be like, all right, game on. So yeah, I mean, I've been using anything and everything possible, but like I said, I really have a really, really fun time training. It's been really, really fun training and just finding like your strengths, because there's so many things that you think that you're never going to be able to do or accomplish. Mm-hmm. And like fighting is just such an amazing journey, because you can, you learn so much from your body, from like the fighting mentality and the mantra that you have to have, and like within years, like you start finding, your fighting style in yourself.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as much as we've seen the aggression that you have in a wrestling ring, I can only imagine, and it scares me a little bit to think the kind of aggression you would have inside an MMA cage. And I fear for whatever opponent faces you next in that cage. So we're talking with Thunder Rosa. Before I let you go, I wanted to get your thoughts. Last week, the NWA on their YouTube channel interviewed the first interview of Kamille, and I know she's got designs on, coming after not only Allison Kay but you, and coming after your title. You heard her comments in that interview. How do you respond?
Where do you want me to start?
Just start with how she wants to end all of you.
No, I mean, listen, man. I'm gonna talk about the women's roster first, and then I'm gonna talk about myself.
Take us down this road, Thunder.
If you want to finish the women's division, first of all, I don't think she has the accolades that Melina has. She was a WWE champion multiple times. She's traveled all over the world and wrestled pretty much absolutely everybody. Allison Kay. She's also been all over the world in many different promotions. She has tons of experience as a pro wrestler. I'm not talking about all the sports that she talked about before. She says that she excels in all of them, blah, blah, blah. But we're talking about pro wrestling. And with Allison, she not only has experience in pro wrestling, she's also an amateur fighter. Okay? Then I'm going to talk about myself now. I pretty much worked in every single promotion with exception of Impact and WWE as a professional wrestler. I traveled to Japan, Canada, Mexico. Here in the United States, I've trained pretty much in every single place that I travel. I've been wrestling for over 6 years. I'm also a pro MMA fighter. Yes, like they can put it on my face that I didn't win. It doesn't matter. I'm still training as a pro fighter. To get over Melina, Allison, all the women's roster, that to me is going to be very difficult. And I don't care how big she is. I don't care how scary she is. It's going to take a lot for her to take the championship. And yeah, some people have said on Twitter very ignorantly that I should just hand the championship There's absolutely no way I will do something such dumb as that. Why again? Because I'm a boss-ass bitch. And for her to take over this shit is going to be over my dead body. Believe me that.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel you. I can't wait to see this fight. I know you. She says that she's going to come for you. I don't know.
Believe me.
She's going to have to earn it. She's going to have to go over every single woman in the women's division just as much as I, because shit is not given to us in NWA. Hell no. I have to fought to the T. Look at every single match I had. I fought to the T. I don't think and nobody's seen so much aggression in the ring until they saw me in the ring in NWA. I can tell you because I've seen so many championship matches. And the match that Allison and I had, it wasn't just your regular match. It was a real fight. Like when we both got in that ring, it was like feeling that we both got when we got into the cage. I can guarantee you that.
It was one of the most talked about fights. I mean, matches throughout Twitter that day that it took place. Everybody was talking about how good that match was. And
people still talking about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know? It's like very few matches, very few female matches that you see like that, unless you see them in Japan.
Yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of women are afraid of wrestling the way that we are wrestling. Mm-hmm. Because of, like, you know, you can get injured. You can get a black eye. You can get a busted lip. You know? There was punches, there was kicks, there was throws, there was power bombs, there was everything. We threw everything in there. And I'm not afraid of throwing in there. I'm not afraid of, like, wrestling guys that are 230 pounds, 400 pounds. I don't care. I don't care how tall she is. I don't care how successful she was in other sports. I'm talking about pro wrestling. She doesn't have the experience or the accolades that I have. And until she earns that, because I'm not going to give it, she needs to earn the spot. That's it. Plain and simple.
Look, I've been fortunate enough to call several of your matches around the Austin area, and I fear for any opponent that gets in the ring with you, because you have shown the tenacity and the aggression and the power that you would expect from a world champion. She is Thunder Rosa. Catch her on Twitter at ThunderRosa22. Find her site, thunderrosa.net, and that's where people can buy out your merchandise and everything, correct?
They can buy merchandise. They can request photos. Photos. They can request Skype phone calls. What else? There's a lot of services that I'm offering. It's just not your typical, like, go to my website, get my stuff, you know. All my stuff is packed by me. That has Drago's hair in it, so you know it's coming from my house.
Nice. Thunder Rosa, it is always a pleasure to talk to you. All the best to you. I look forward to seeing you live in a ring very soon.
And thank you for having me. And, you know, it was like, this is actually a premiere. I haven't talked about this. This is the first time somebody asked me this question about Kamille.
Well, good. So, well, I'm glad we could break some news.
You got the real answer.
I like it.
You know, don't mess with Texas. Don't threaten at me. Like, seriously.
That's
you know?
right. That's right. That's why I wanted to ask you, because I knew I'd get a genuine answer. Thunder Rosa, thanks so much.
Thank you.